Here with Southern Coastal Cooking. Tonight I'm beginning the process of the Smoky Okie brisket. This is Tim Dickey's brisket method here. What he's told me is he's won tons of contests with this stuff. I'm real excited about doing it. It's basically, you sear the brisket, you cut it down lean first, cut a lot of the fat off, and then you smoke it low and slow. Really cool. So what I've done, I got this is select here, it's about a 12, 13 pounder. I had another one that's a little bit bigger, but I trimmed it down. You want to get them down to about 12 pounds. Show you the lean side here. I went ahead and cut pretty much all the fat off of it. Now I'm going to the fat cap side. What I'm doing is just removing most of the fat cap off the point end, especially, is what he said to do. You know, be sure to get all that off. You know, I will leave, so the flat end down here, I will leave a little bit of the fat cap on here, but I just want to thin it out because, you know, the first step in this process as far as the cooking goes, you're going to put it on a super hot fire, like a big charcoal fire, and you're going to sear it. You know, if you have a ton of fat on here, you know, the fat doesn't sear well. It's just going to sit there and, you know, catch on fire and all that kind of stuff and not be good. So what you want to do, he says, you want to get as much of the fat off as possible. They said leave a thin layer. You can leave a thin layer on the flat, just, you know, you want to protect things. But they said I'm going around on this point up here on the point end, and we're just taking some fat off, just getting it down to where, you know, we've got contact with the meat. Now on the last one, as far as rubs and stuff go, I just took some kosher salt and I got some cracked black pepper in that new that unicorn Magnum pepper grinder, and did some coarse black pepper, mixed it with kosher salt and a little bit of garlic powder, and that's all I put on that. This one I'm going to take my Heaven Made Products brisket rub and probably put on it. Of course, you'll see all that in the full video, but they said this is going to be really interesting. I'm looking forward to trying this. I've never done like a really hot and fast brisket. It's always been super, you know, low and slow, something you want to take a lot of time doing. I mean, these things could take a brisket this size could take 18 hours or something, you know, doing it low and slow as much. Well, a little bit bigger brisket would. This one's probably a 12 or 13 hour one. But what Tim was saying, I mean, you can get these things done in about 6 to 8 hours, you know, depending on your pit and everything like that, and on the brisket. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm shooting for, basically, is to clean it up enough to get it nice and ready for that sear. And also, you know, tonight I'm going to put the rub on there like I was talking about, and I'll put it in a hotel pan, basically on a wire rack, cover it in full, put it back in the refrigerator, and let it just kind of cure in there for 24 hours or so to get everything done, to get the seasoning set in and stuff like that. But anyway, that's pretty much what we're doing, y'all. Just want to check in with you on the Facebook page. Thanks all y'all who like the page, and I'll be starting this back up tomorrow night. All right, y'all, Joe here, Southern Coastal Cooking. I was going to do the brisket early in the morning. And I was thinking, I've been studying this recipe, but it says basically you sear it, you cook it for like 2 hours, you smoke it for another hour or so, like 3 hours of cooking, and then you basically cover it and put it to rest for about 6 hours or something like that. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to go ahead and start it here late night. Then that way I can get some rest while, you know, I can put the thing in my pellet cooker or something like that and let it go low and slow while it's covered. I'm not worried about that. So let's just maybe get out there and go ahead and get the brisket started. All right, y'all, I'm outside. I got a new method of lighting the Keeman over here, y'all. Got one of these weed torches. And what I've got is a bunch of royal oak charcoal in here, about 2 pecan logs. And going through the top here, we're going to light her up. And that's how we're going to do this, y'all. So let's go ahead and light this. Let's open this up here real quick. Y'all see. Backwards and everything. Let me bring you in a little bit closer so y'all can see a little bit better what's going on. Okay, I know lighting's bad out here right now, but it won't take us too long. So let's get this torch lit I just bought this thing today. So basically they say, there you go. All right, kind of get that lit. Then you hit the wow. Oh shoot, went out. Turn this down a little bit. I'm gonna try this again. Okay. Anyway, let me get this grill lit. The key is you can't turn out, had the valve open too much. You just got halfway do it. But yeah, this is the way to light these coals here. And just get everything lit. You don't want to get the pit heated up before I start that side fire. So that's how we're going to do this. Pretty cool. Alright y'all, so basically what we're doing right now, letting the pit heat up. Let it get to about 275 or so. I'll feed it some more wood. Then once that happens, I'll light this little side fire for searing the brisket. But let it heat up. Look how those True Glow, those Tell True glow gauges are working. Really cool out here tonight. Alright y'all, so I got the grill up to temp. The smoker up to temp. Now we're going to light this grill station here. Let me turn my gas back on. And turn this thing on here. Alright, then we'll go ahead and light this. Get this charcoal going, because this is what we'll use to sear the briskets. So we got the coals lit. I'm just going to let them get lit completely. Super hot there. Alright y'all, now we got a super searing hot fire. That's what Tim Dickey said to put the brisket on over. So here we go. Put the first one on there. It said fat cap down. Let it go 5 minutes, y'all. And oh wow, look how hot that is. Here we go. Alright. So I'm going to set my timer over here for 5 minutes, and then we'll flip her over. Wow. That's a super hot fire right there, y'all. It's crazy. Seems like you burn the heck out of that brisket, but that's what he said. He said just let that sucker roll. That sucker's going crazy. I sure hope he didn't lie to me. He said let it go, raging fire. So we'll let it go for the rest of the 5 minutes. Alright y'all, it's been about 5 minutes. Go ahead and try to flip this bad boy over. Oh my goodness. It is hot. Let me get some big gloves, try to get in there, y'all. That'll burn the heck out of it. There we go. Alright, let that go for a few minutes on that side. And he said it'd be burnt, look like it's ruined. So it sure does. So let's just hope that goes. Let go a few minutes on that side there. Alright, I think it's got a good sear on that side. I'm going to go ahead and put it off over here, y'all. You can see in the in my little tray, back on the tray, another tray. And that will man, yeah. And that's when we're moving on to the smoker, just like that, y'all, and let it smoke. So I'm going to show y'all what I've done here. I've got them over here on the Kingman, just like see in these pans, like that, at 275, and we're just going to let them roll for a couple hours, just like that. So we've been cooking for about 2 hours here on the first side of the brisket. I'm about to open this pit up. I'm just going to kind of flip them, y'all. Looking really nice in there. Let's see how that bark is. Hoping they're Everything's going good. Yeah, okay. See, still got that really, like I said, that charred bark on there, but you know what? That's how they say it's supposed to be. So let's go ahead and go in here and flip them. Oh wow, it's getting tender. I can feel that. Somewhat. So let's flip these bad boys just like that. Okay. Alright, flip them and shut this down, and we'll let them go another hour on this side before we cover them. Very nice. Alright y'all, now that the briskets have been flipped for another about an hour and 15 minutes or so, I'm going to go ahead and take them off, cover them. We can put them back on here. I should probably put them on Y640 or something like that so we can go to bed and get some sleep. Put the thermometer in them. But that's what we're looking for now. Mainly, we're just going to take them off. Oh yeah. Cover them up. Let them just roll like that for the rest of the cook. They looking good there. So now I'm going to put a temperature probe in here. I've got my Inkbird. This is the IBT6X. It's up to 6 probes. I put a probe in the other one. I wrapped it. I'm going to show you. I'm going to shove the probe in this one deep into the point. That's what we want to do. And down there. And I put that in the controller. And I've got some beef stock. This is optional, but I like to just put a little liquid in the bottom of here just to kind of get it started. Not much, but just some. This pan will help us make an jus later on for the cook. Okay, just a little bit of liquid, just barely covering the bottom of the pan. And then we're going to take this heavy duty tin foil. Pull this over here, y'all. Y'all know how it rolls. Just seal it up, put it back in the cooker, or in the 640 or whatever you want, and just let it roll overnight. Check it here. Set alarm to go off at about 198. Or if not, you know, check it in about 5 or 6 hours. All right, y'all. They've been they were slow cooking for another 4 hours. Okay, at about 275, 260. I think they're done. They're reading around 200 degrees. Woo. Let's look at this one here, and it's made a bunch of au jus. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Let's find something here I can grab this with. Basically, we're testing for texture. Look at this. Oh yeah. All this does can be, look at that probe tender, just slides right in over here in the flat. Alright, so I'm going to get this one off of here, and we're going to get him, let him sit aside and rest. Alright y'all, Joe here, Southern Coastal Cooking. We are about to slice the brisket. We are slicing the brisket now. The Smoky Okie Brisket Method. We've been waiting for it. Y'all look down here and let's see what we got. Look at that beautiful brisket there. Isn't that nice? Oh yeah, man, I tell you what. I can't wait. So what we're going to do is, first off, they say to separate the point from the flat. I can do that pretty easily here. So let's look at this. I mean, it just, I'm not even having to cut. Knife's just sliding along there. Taking the flat muscle off the point. The point's on the bottom here. The kind of guy, I don't want it to fall apart, but that's how you do this, okay, y'all? Just basically just slide it off there. Okay, so got the point there. I mean, that's the point, okay? Point muscle there, and flat. You know, we see the grains going this way with the flat. What we want to do is we want to get some good slices here. Oh yeah. Let's see here.
Alright, now I was kind of worried, y'all, about a smoke ring, but I mean, look at that smoke ring. That smoke ring set in nicely. Really nice smoke ring. Juicy. Look at that. That's pretty right there. That is really nice. My next question is going to be, I'm wanting to taste the bark. Let's just keep going like this. And we'll just, like I say, just kind of fan out these slices a little bit. That's so pretty. Just like that. Look at that. How pretty that is. Oh yeah. Plenty of juice. Everything else. Now, probably have to turn it. Cut it a different way. Cut it in half and then cut it. But you get the idea how pretty those slices are. I'm going to get a shot of that. If I can get me a still shot. Camera. Just a second, y'all. That is nice. That really is. But what you trying to? Man, this camera's all fogged up. Of course, you know you're trying to do something like that, but we'll just forget about that for now. Let's give it a taste. Okay, might as well do that, huh? I'll cut one of these pieces back here. Okay, let's just kind of pull that up there on the knife. That's nice right there. I'll pull that apart. I'll just, let's say, just give it a taste. That's got some good flavor now. Honestly, I was worried about the bark being burned or something. It doesn't really taste burnt. I mean, it tastes a little bit of char there, but nothing like I would be worried about. That's pretty dang good brisket right there. And the whole cook time for this thing, y'all, was basically 8 hours because I smoked it. Let's see how long I smoked it for. 3 hours, and then I covered it and cooked it for another 4. No, about 7 hours. I did this one. I did another brisket. So 2 really nice briskets. Smoky Okie method, y'all. Let's cut a little piece of the flat. I mean the point over here. So I keep calling it different things. Look at this. If I can get to it for y'all, you can see. Move you over here. So that's just. Slice a little bit of it. May make some burnt ends or something out of it later. Yeah! Look at that. Oh my gosh. Man, that's nice right there. Beautiful color. Everything there. I'll give it a taste. That's where the money's at right there now. Oh yeah. That point is definitely nice. Definitely got some good flavor to it, y'all. But you know what they say is you take this and you put it back in the tin foil pan or whatever. Put some of those reserved juices. I kept some of those juices. Put that on there, and you know, oh man, I think it's turned out really good, especially my first try. Overcooked a little bit. I think that's just my fault. Just let it go, you know, covered. But you know, I mean, this is some exceptional, you know, stuff though. Definitely, I wouldn't complain. Somebody served this to me in a restaurant or something. So yeah, y'all give it a try. A Smoky Okie Brisket Method. Remember, old Tim Dickey's the one that told me about this. I appreciate it, Tim. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Like I said, I appreciate all y'all. Y'all please look in the description box for where you can get some of the products that I'm using. Please like my Facebook page, spread the word about it. I'll put a link to it. Like my channel, sub it. Thank y'all. God bless y'all. Have a good one. Hey y'all, before I publish this video, I just wanted to do a little closing talk about with it. The Smoky Okie Brisket Method, so to speak, was invented by Tim Dickey from my knowledge. Okay, he's a professional barbecue chef, and he has won a bunch of competitions with it and everything like that. So he has mastered the method. Now, I was just merely trying to emulate that method, and I think it turned out really good on that brisket. My other one, the smaller brisket, it was still good. It wasn't quite as good as the large one. So my preference now, the large one was about 14.5 pounds. I just do a little bit better with a larger brisket. To me, now I'm not talking about 18, 20 pound or anything like that, but the 14 to 15 pound range are a little bit more forgiving sometimes, especially in the flat, okay? That's my mileage, okay? Also, you saw how I really trimmed all that fat off the point. Next time I would actually leave a little bit of fat up there. I think that it needs a little bit of shield, okay? Also, the rub that I did on the larger one, okay, that when I just took basically coarse kosher salt, it's bought from Kroger, and just took the pepper mill right here, the unicorn, you know, whatever, Magnum pepper mill, and I put it on a coarser setting, and I just ground pepper, and it was basically just salt and pepper. And y'all, that was really, really good. It worked well with that high heat sear. Had a little bit of garlic powder in there, but I think you could take or leave that. The other one, I did use the Heaven Made products, which is a wonderful rub, don't get me wrong, the brisket rub, but on that super high heat, you don't know if you've got something with a bunch of herbs and spices or possibly some sugars, you can get a little bit more bitter tasting bark, so be careful of that. These are just some things I'm telling you to watch out. Another thing, if your fire is really, really hot like the one I had, you don't have to sear it for that long, okay? I would suggest maybe, I hate to even throw a time out there and say about 2.5 minutes or so aside, but just kind of look at it. You can tell if it gets a good sear, if it's gone a minute or so, kind of pull up a corner real quick and see once it starts to, searing like a good steak. In the instructions I read, and I'll put a link to the rendition of the Smoky Okie Brisket Method. I read online, the guy said, sear it till it looks like it's right. I don't think you necessarily have to do that, okay? You could get a bitter taste in bark. Like I said, on the one you saw me carve up there, everything turned out really good. Like I said, I would sear for a little bit less time because I just like a little bit lighter color sometimes. Okay. With that being said, I've had a couple people ask, do you think this is better than the low and slow method? Better. I don't know. Like I said, if you asked him, he would probably tell you, yeah, this is the way he wins a bunch of contests. For me, I haven't mastered this method, okay? So I know, I've done the low and slow. I've done all my Brisket 101 videos, all that kind of stuff, doing the low and slow with the covered. Similar to what I do, except I don't have the sear. And the sear really speeds the cook up a lot. It helps to set the bark, in my opinion. It's not sealing in juice or anything like that. You can read AmazingRibs.com, I'll tell you about that, But what it does, though, I think to help the brisket from drying out something, it sets the bark up. So if you have a super, super long cook sometimes, a brisket could dry out some before it gets tender enough. So it helps to kind of speed things up. So I can see where, playing with this recipe and stuff like that, you can get really, really good. Again, I want to thank Tim. I want to thank all y'all. I just wanted to throw some stuff in there, answer maybe a few questions before, that you might have. Another thing is try and look in the description box. I want to put a link to the recipe, about the only handwritten recipe I found for it online. I'll put a link to that. And so Appreciate y'all. Again, God bless. I just wanted to kind of give you a little fill in there at the end of the show.